Hello to you all, and truth. There was a part left from the previous episode that was very important to discuss, but I feared that an excessive dose might scatter your thoughts. Let's go inward today, deeper. You know, or most of you, I believe, know about quantum physics. Since a while ago, since Albert Einstein, and from that time until now, there have been tremendous leaps in this science that have changed the world and changed our perspective on things. It has almost changed everything on Earth, as quantum mechanics scientists have become able to delve deeper into atoms, and it has become possible to observe their parts as well as photons. You know that light is made up of photons as well as waves, so they found that these things behave in a way we do not know. Simply put, if you throw a ball at the wall, the ball will bounce back to you in a way we all know. And this is what is known by the laws of physics that we all know. But when you throw atoms or photons at the wall, they will bounce back to you in a way different from how the ball bounced. And this is what quantum physics explains to us. And the examples of that are many. I don't want to confuse you with them because they confuse me personally. I am not knowledgeable enough to delve into this topic, but the subject is really very complex. The important thing is the idea we want, which is things behave or particles behave with other particles in a different way than they behave when they are not interacting with other particles. Meaning, what you believe is very real is not actually what you think it is, and all the gaps you don't see in that reality, your mind fills in those gaps so you see it the way it appears to you. As we said earlier, the brain always processes all inputs to align with you so you don't go mad. Strange ideas come to you, and your brain rejects them outwardly. And if it does not do so, if the idea cannot be rejected or it may be accepted, it will color it with its own color. Meaning, if the strange ideas are green and your brain is red, it will color them red so they align with it as if they are a part of it. There is something very important, extremely important, that we reached when we started delving into the study of the cell, the atom, the photon, which is that every particle in the universe, every atom, has no freedom, has no will, has no choice. The atom does not choose anything at all. So when atoms are in a bird, for example, the atoms are the smallest unit forming the bird. When atoms come together, they create molecules, and molecules form cells, and cells form organs, and the organs together form a bird, and the bird has a will. Of course, the bird's will is completely different from your will as a human, but it has a will, the will to move its wings and fly, the will to eat, the will to reproduce. But the atom, the molecule, the photon, all of them have no will. So how is it that those small things have no will, while when they come together they have a will? Who created the will of those things? Who created the will of the bird if every small component within it has no will? Do you know? Also, note that will is different from life, different from existence. For example, a rock contains atoms and molecules just like us. But why does the rock not have the ability to choose? The rock does not have the will to choose. Why, when the atoms of the rock come together, do they form something inanimate, while when they come together in a bird, they produce a living being? Pay attention to something important. Not just the rock and the bird, but you too. You are made up of a group of atoms, none of which have entity, none have will, they only have existence. But when they come together, they become you. Add to that, all living beings and inanimate objects are made up of atoms, but in each case, when they come together, they create something different. Thus, the rock becomes a rock, the bird becomes a bird, the plant becomes a plant, and you become you, a human. Who made those atoms into a bird, or made them into a rock, or made them into me? You know well that everything existing on the surface of the earth is made up of the same atoms, according to organic chemistry. In my belief, there must be a will that gave will to those very small components to create a being with certain characteristics in this cosmic system that created beings in the cosmic system that created the entire universe. If all the atoms that make up the universe, when you look at NASA images of space and see those magnificent pictures of galaxies in the universe and photons of light, who decided they would become this way if there were no will? Who did this if they had no freedom of choice? This is the question in its simplest form. If atoms do not choose, who chose for them? Let's go further. I trust that you are capable of understanding what I am about to say. Your brain is composed of nearly 5 billion nerve cells. I heard someone compare this to 5 billion sheets of paper stacked on top of each other, with the distance between each sheet being like the distance between New York and London. Inside the head of every human being on Earth, there are 5 billion nerve cells with those specifications, working in the same way as particles, exactly. Those 5 billion nerve cells that organize how your body works, that create all your thoughts and shape your understanding of the world and yourself, that handle all your actions, all your calculations, all your relationships, all your fears, all your beliefs, and the opposite, do not have a leader or a control center guiding them from within. Who tells those nerve cells to make me me and you? Whose will is it? Who says? Who leads? Who directs? Who commands? If each cell does not have will, then whose will is it? To be honest with you, when I wrote this episode, I did not intend to guide you toward anything or for you to believe in anything, even if you felt otherwise. These are just thoughts that came to me and I wanted to share them. They are questions that went through my mind and I wanted to present them to you. You can reach the conclusions I have reached, which are personal to me alone, or you may come to another answer, which is personal to you alone. Just, I would appreciate it if you shared your thoughts with me in the comments. I wish you all the best and see you in a new episode, if I still have my will. We're glad you made it this far. If our video ignited something within you, we're honored. Join our Javan Rusa community to explore more and be part of our journey.